I'm going to hit start draft, and we're going to see who falls down to pick 8 to Cody. And I think I got a setting wrong.
You did what?
I got a setting wrong.
Oh my goodness.
There we go.
Why can I hear the beat? Oh, I didn't turn it off.
Pick 1 was Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 Bijan Robinson, 3 Jamar Chase, Christian McCaffrey went 4, and then Puka Nacua, Jonathan Taylor, and Jackson Smith and Jigba fell down to 7, and Cody is up at 8.
Yeah, and this is full point PPR. There's not a running back here that I would consider at this point. Maybe Achane, who's down at 12. In a perfect world, would love to get him on, this full turn, but he ain't falling all the way back to the middle, 5 picks into the second round. So
No.
I'm going to go with the top guy available, Amon-Ra St. Brown, PPR machine, gets the receptions. Back-to-back weeks taking a Lions player with my mock draft.
It's got to eat just a little bit inside, but Amon-Ra St. Brown, a great pick there. And the fact that JSN almost fell down to you is, in a full PPR, to have Jonathan Taylor go 6 still and McCaffrey up at 4. I guess I get McCaffrey.
Yeah, the JT one is interesting. I mean, maybe you're expecting some regression from a JSN. The Puka at 5, again, this is why we say don't draft early, but he's dealing with some minor injuries already at the beginning of this camp. How does he bounce back? But yeah, I really like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I would take Amon-Ra St. Brown over Jonathan Taylor. So I already feel like I have a leg up on Team 6.
Yeah, and I think in a full PPR, I would also take CeeDee Lamb over Jonathan Taylor. So I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb with my pick here. I was going to take whatever of those 2 receivers you didn't go with is basically what I was looking at.
I figured if Amon wasn't there, I probably would have went CeeDee Lamb. So
yeah. All right, coming back now. Running back run after me with James Cook, Devon Achane, Ashton Genty, Saquon Barkley, Omarion Hampton, and then Justin Jefferson back to me. I was thinking when I just saw that and didn't look at the board, maybe there is not a running back I would go with here, and I would go back to receiver. And Drake London definitely is intriguing, but to keep my team balanced and because Chase Brown's still there, I think I'm going with that pick.
I'm waiting for you to make the pick.
I hit his name instead of the add button.
I was like, what does this guy do? So that's frustrating. There's the first snipe. Because I, too, was looking at the running back board. I mean, obviously, Kenneth Walker, Derrick Henry, they're the next 2 best available. You have your Drake London, A.J. Brown. They're sitting there as the best wide receivers.
Are we still liking A.J. Brown this high?
I think in full point PPR, I could see it being there. I mean, I feel like what they gave up for him, he is going to be the featured of this offense, and I don't think he is really fallen off. I think he just got disengaged in Philadelphia. So I mean, hopefully by middle of the season he's not bored in New England, and then we're having a whole nother different discussion. But I kind of view him similar to Drake London. I think Drake London's very good. Is it this is where you have to start not taking too much account into the full PPR aspect of it. I think with either of those guys, if you really wanted the PPR monster, I feel like Trey McBride might be the best pick.
I'd agree with that.
Sitting here, I took Brock Bowers early last week.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to take a second tight end early just in back-to-back mock drafts. So I'm going to skip on Trey McBride, take Drake London, and see if I regret it.
I would have gone Drake London there too, and he was going to be my pick if Chase Brown wasn't on there. And it did feel a little bit early to take a tight end, but I know sometime in the second round in 12 teams is where they're going to go, and that is what happened here. As 206 was A.J. Brown, then it was Derrick Henry and Ken Walker. Trey McBride, George Pickens, Brock Bowers, and Jeremiah Love rounded out round 2. Round 3 started with Josh Allen, then Malik Neighbors, Nico Collins, Rashee Rice, Chris Olave, Josh Jacobs, and Lamar Jackson right before you. So looks like you and I are both waiting on tight end and quarterback because those are all 4 of our guys gone now.
Yeah, absolutely here. And when I'm looking at the board, I'm thinking running back is definitely in the cards here. Try to get one in the first 3 rounds, so to speak. No, we do have to start 3 wide receivers, so would not be uncanny for me to go with the third wide receiver. But with Kyron Williams, Brees Hall, Bucky Irving, and Javonte Williams all available versus like a T. Higgins or a Tedero McMillan being, T. Higgins being a number 2, Ted still being a rookie or a second-year player. I mean, he was very good last year. I think running back makes the most sense. Um, I feel like Kyron is quote unquote the safest here, but I there is the buzz about where is he at with like Corum? How much is that going to split? And then so that for me, it's like, do I want the safeness in Kyron Williams, or do I want like the boom bust potential in Brees Hall that also could be like a PPR monster? And that's kind of where I'm at here. And I think in 95% of drafts, I would take Kyron Williams. But this is the point of mock draft. See how your teams pan out. I'm gonna take Brees Hall.
Okay, that puts me in an interesting spot because the way I was looking at the board was if Kyron's there, I'd probably take him, and Brees Hall's just off my board. Like if he fell back around to 4-4, I might think about him, but I just can't get on board right now with him, mostly because of the offense around him. And I think it's the same thing that we've said between him and
So let me ask you this with Brees Hall.
What?
I understand the offense around him. Why? I think that argument could be obviously Achane has produced at a higher level, which is why he's going in the first round. But in terms of players around him, Achane has nobody. Like at least Brees Hall has, Garrett Wilson. He has the rookie wide receivers coming in this year. I think Malik Willis is a better quarterback than Geno Smith at this point in their career, so at least they have a better quarterback. I just think it's another running back that got paid this offseason. I think they're going to try to feature him. It's the Jets offense. I understand not wanting any parts of it. So I completely get why some people be out there, but I think there is, the outside shot that he becomes like a league winner, just being at what his ceiling is. He still has the highest ceiling, I think, of anybody left.
Tell me the last time that Devon Achane finished as a top 5 running back.
Brian, don't do this.
Last season. Tell me the last time Brees Hall finished as a top 5 running back. Dude, the answer is he hasn't.
Again, I said he's done it that's why he's in the first round, and we're not talking about Brees Hall in the first round.
No, I know, but I'm just like, even last year when you could say Achane had nothing around him at the end of the season, they were playing with who knows what at quarterback, and no Tyreek Hill, and Waddle was invisible. Like Achane still went out there and produced, and I haven't seen the same thing out of Brees Hall, which I think is why they're at these parts of the draft and why like I'm okay with being wrong about not taking Brees Hall in the 3rd round.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at.
I'm just saying of Kyron Williams, Javonte Williams, Bucky Irving, and maybe I didn't do a good job of explaining. I was not comparing him to Achane.
Yeah.
I think he has the highest ceiling of all of those guys. And I also think he has the most pass catching ability in a PPR.
That makes sense. No, the pass catching ability definitely makes sense over Kyron.
That's the biggest injury concern.
Fair. So. I'm also somebody who's higher on Kyron than the average person. I think that his projection numbers are a little bit skewed towards Corum could be 1,000-yard running back. And even if Corum is 1,000-yard running back this year, like people are arguing at the end of the season, if you put the last 7 weeks across the entire season, Corum ran for 1,050 yards. People conveniently leave out the fact that in that same time frame, Kyron ran for 1,300. Like they're both going to be fine. And if Kyron runs for 1,300, he's going as a second round. He's a second round value going in the 3rd round, which is why I still think I'm way higher on him than Brees Hall.
Yeah. Don't forget, I said 95% of the time I'm probably taking Kyron, but we're going to have some fun.
Yeah. Okay. I just figured I'd explain where my thought was too. It might be dumb taking 2 running backs in a 3 wide receiver full PPR league in the first 3 rounds, but I feel like I can now sit back and like pick away at the wide receiver group in the next 4 or 5 rounds if I take the 2 starters. So I'm going to go Kyren anyway.
I mean, unless you were going to take Ted, you weren't going to pair T. Higgins with Chase Brown. So,
yeah, exactly. That was the other thing. Tet was the other guy I was looking at for sure. Bucky Irving went next, and then Tet McMillan. T. Higgins rounded out round 3. Round 4 went Devontae Smith, Javonte Williams. Sorry, I was blocked on my side of the screen here, and then Zay Flowers. As much as I like Zay Flowers, he's definitely not quite as valuable in a full PPR because he's kind of the bigger play guy. Who is more valuable is probably either Lad McConkey or Emeka Buka, who are sitting here at the top of the board. Garrett Wilson, the next receiver down. Again, not really a Garrett Wilson guy.
I mean, the way Zay Flowers was paid, you would think he's the most valuable of the guys that are left.
You would, and I think he deserves going in this tier. And maybe I'm putting too much value in PPR again, but I don't know.
Yeah, man, you're on the clock, and you're picking right before me, so I can't say much.
You cannot say much. This is a okay. Prepare the button. I'll go Lad McConkey. I'm a Chargers fan. I don't know what you're talking about. Welcome.
No, I mean it was the right pick. That's why I wasn't saying anything. Yeah. I probably should have talked you into like started making fun of you for being a homer. Maybe I could have let you slide here. I would have liked to pair Lad McConkey on my team more so than your team. You're going in with him being a wide receiver too. Obviously, we're starting 3 in this lineup any week. No, but I think getting him as the 3rd option, having that potential for a bounce back, I think is intriguing and the most enticing. So, but for that same reason, I think I'm going to ride with the Emeka Egbuka here on this lineup. See if he, being the number 3 wide receiver, can he bounce back to early season last year? I know he's already listed as questionable, which scares me, but I'm obviously not taking Garrett Wilson at this point. I'm not in on the Travis Etienne New Orleans one. Still too early for Colston Loveland or Tyler Warren. I'm not doing double New York running backs with Cam Scatterbo. Not great for PPR. Jalen Waddle, I think, is the second most intriguing name here. But again, how much is that a PPR guy versus a big play guy? So I'll take Emeka Egbuka, and we'll see what happens.
I think Egbuka was the right move there. I think going McConkey, Egbuka in whatever order for us too were the best moves. And then after your pick, we had Tyler Warren, Drake May, Colston Loveland, Travis Etienne, Devontae Adams, Jalen Waddle, and Garrett Wilson rounded out round 4. Round 5 started with Cam Scatterbo and then Joe Burrow, Terry McLaurin, Luther Burden, Travion Henderson, Quinshad Judkins, and DeAndre Swift.
Yep. And I think how the board fell for me personally, based on what we've talked about the last couple of weeks, if you've been listening, this is like the perfect guy to pair with Breece Hall. Get me my second running back. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get David Montgomery. He seems like a safe, reliable guy. Probably not the biggest PPR monster, but now it gives me like a safe floor running back, the high ceiling. And I don't think George would take him with only having 2 wide receivers at this point. But I do think he pairs nicely, complements my team well, and I like the direction we're headed.
I agree that you needed somebody in that tier to fall to you, and Montgomery was the perfect guy to have fall to you. If you put DeAndre Swift there, doesn't feel as good. Judkins, I think, has a lot of ceiling, but we worry about how that team's going to be productive on offense too. And then I don't know how I feel about Travion Henderson.
I love Travion Henderson. I just think that Patriots love Ramondre Stevenson more than I do. So that's the scary part with him.
Yeah, that's the big problem. And we know Vrabel has a long history of taking super successful and talented running backs and putting them behind guys for multiple years.
But have you peeped Team 6? Like, what are they doing?
Taylor, Henry, Jacobs, May, Judkins. That's a team.
Well, they can't even they just drafted a bench player in round 5.
That's true too. That's even worse than it looked like because I'm used to playing double flex now. That's even worse. You're right.
Unless George has it set up for double flex because
Nope, I do not.
Okay. But you're up, bud.
I am. Looking at wide receivers again, like I said I would. Jamison Williams, DJ Moore, Mike Evans, Carnell Tate, Roma Dunze, Christian Watson are the top guys on the board. I feel like even though he is banged up and there's an electrical substation there, I think a big upside in PPR because he has a chance to be the go-to guy in San Francisco is Mike Evans, and I think he'd be a great guy to try to give me some upside when I'm playing catch up on wide receiver. And then I'm going to try to just take some more guys for depth here beyond this in case he ends up hurt at some point in the season.
All right. Mike Evans, you take him. Not a bad pick. Followed by Bayshell Tootin, Jamison Williams, and DJ Moore to round out the end of round 5. Round 6 kicks off with back-to-back quarterbacks and Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, followed by Jadari Price. And George, you are back on the clock.
Shifted down the wide receiver board a little bit. Carnell Tate's now top available, and then Roma Dunze, Christian Watson, Brian Thomas, DK Metcalf. And I may take a page out of Cody's playbook on this one, and I'm looking at Christian Watson. And maybe he's not the perfect PPR prototype, but when it comes to having upside, massive upside, we talked about numerous times recently, there's not as much clutter in the Green Bay passing attack anymore. So if he can really step up and turn more of those big weeks in that he has been over the last few years, and I could have him as a flex and a 3 wide receiver, chance to be a big boom.
No, I like that pick a lot. We know my fandom for Christian Watson here, and then so I don't mind that one at all. And between him and Mike Evans, hopefully you get 17 games out of those two, and you're
this
good
can't
to
be
go.
hurt at the same time, and I'll be fine.
Yeah, for me, I mean, a couple names I'm looking here at the board is one, Mr. Roma Dunze. I feel like he is falling down boards, and Luther Burden is getting pushed up boards at a rapid pace. Like, I don't know how much I love Luther. I like Luther Burden a lot. I don't know how much I like him at the beginning of round 5. Like, he's still technically, in my opinion, the number 2. I think he'll be, used heavily. I think Roma Dunze in PPR could be that security blanket. At sometimes, some people will say that's Luther Burden. So I hear it. It's flipping a coin. We're talking one round different. So I'm looking at him. 2 rounds ago, I was thinking of Lab McConkey for a bounce back after their, in their 3rd season, after a down 2nd season. Maybe I was Brian Thomas 2 rounds later. That would be a guy that I could pay attention to as well. Carnell Tate, if I want to get the rookie, I'm probably going to avoid him. And I'm going to go back-to-back Green Bay Packers here. This is PPR. I think he has a chance to lead the team in receptions. I know he's coming off the ACL injury, but I'm taking Tucker Kraft.
I took him last week. I told you how I felt about him. Great move. One of the few middle round tight ends I would stick my neck out for.
I would love to have taken him at 7-8, but knowing that 3 tight ends went, and I'll read the whole list here in a second, after him makes me feel good about even if it was considered a slight reach. But right after me did go Carnell Tate, followed by tight end Harold Fanning, Brian Thomas, Roma Dunze, Sam Laporta, DK Metcalf, and Kyle Pitts to round out round 6. Round 7 got kicked off with Marvin Harrison Jr., Chuba Hubbard, who did, I think, drop out of practice with a hamstring injury today. Caleb Williams went, followed by Jordan Tyson, Jalen Warren, Michael Wilson, Cortland Sutton, and I am now back on the clock. So I read the list. I gotta look at who we got here. You want to say something?
No, you're good. I was going to buy you some time. Yeah, smart move taking Tucker Kraft when you did because of the 3 other tight ends. I kind of like this bubble of tight ends. I just am not a big person of like going tight end in the middle rounds.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is 12 team. If you're used to playing 10 team, like this is like round 7. We're at pick. I can't do the math right now off the top of my head, but like you're round 7, round 8, starting to get some of these tight ends. So it's not as bad here. I don't
No,
love.
this is usually closer to round 8, I believe, in a 10 team.
Yeah, I don't
Round 8, round
love
9.
the way the board's sitting right now, with RJ Harvey at the top, Jackson Dart, Mekhi Lemon, Parker Washington, Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott. I took a tight end early. I don't want to double up at the quarterbacks, so to speak. Um, Maybe I'll wait till like round 9 to start looking at the quarterback option. Um, Especially because I don't have like a instant stack or something like that. If I got Lad McConkey, maybe I would consider Justin Herbert. But maybe I will take Parker Washington. I was interested in Brian Thomas. Parker Washington bounced back. Probably still a little high for me, but I don't like the next round of group of people either. So I'll take Parker Washington. Hope that maybe it's the second option.
Was really hoping he would fall to me, so there's your snipe. He was my favorite guy left on the board. If I'm looking at wide receivers, next guy up, Mekhi Lemon, then Alec Pierce, Chris Godwin, Jacoby Myers. We're getting into that like middling part of the receivers that like I could kind of fall either way on them. I really don't like Mekhi Lemon too much going into this season. He's been hurt most of training camp. He's a rookie. I think he's going to mix in and be kind of in the mess. But if I had to pick another guy in Philly, it's going to be Dontavian Wicks to me, and I can get him all the way at the end of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I would almost rather take that shot. And then Alec Pierce, obviously, the ceiling's there. Maybe because I stack up so many wide receivers, I can take him, and if he ends up starting on PUP, I can just stash him. But again, there's another guy in that offense that I would rather wait a bit and take in Josh Downs. So I'm going to look elsewhere, I think. Number 1 running back on the board's RJ Harvey. Similar situation. So then I can look at quarterback. Jackson Dart up here. Obviously, the rushing potential is there. Hoping that he takes a step with Harbaugh in the building. I could throw together a stack with Justin Herbert to go with Lad McConkey, or maybe the best and maybe most disrespected quarterback on a year-to-year basis, Dak Prescott, is sitting here too.
Yep.
And honestly, Dak Prescott's a stack with my first round pick, CD Lamb, also. So I'm going to go Dak.
Yeah, I didn't again say anything because I was debating Dak, and I'm like, I don't want to go tight end quarterback back. Maybe I'll get Dak in round 8. That didn't happen, so it's okay. George taking my guys, but
You took
after
my
Dak
guy
Prescott
coming
went,
into that. So
after Dak went, Rico Dotto, RJ Harvey, Alex Pierce. Round 8 got kicked off with Mekhi Lemon, Tony Pollard, Justin Herbert, and George is now back on the clock.
all right. I only have 2 running backs on my team in Chase Brown and Kyron. And I think one of the safer guys this late in the draft is J.K. Dobbins. Obviously, there's always the injury concerns, but I mean, I think he's going to get starting work. He's going to mix in like everyone does, but he's got a solid shot to be a decent floor player. So I'm going to try to shore up the rest of that running back room and go JK.
I don't mind that pick at all. He was in consideration for me as well. I don't know if I'd go full snipe, but I will definitely throw him out there. There is still the running backs or the quarterbacks and tight ends available at the top of the board. You got Jackson Dart, Ramondre, he's a running back, but I'm not taking him. Dalton Kincaid, George Kittle, but I already took my tight end, so I'm not thinking about that. Kyle Monungai is an interesting name. I think he could be a guy that kind of breaks out a little bit this year as well as they phase out DeAndre Swift. Maybe Swift is still the guy for another year, so that's definitely a risk taking here. I mean, he would not be my starter option, so he'd be a bench replacement, which isn't a bad thing to have at this point in the draft. Obviously, I'm not going Jacoby Myers here. I am going to scroll down a little bit, so it's a little bit lower on the best available players here, but he will be before my next pick. And again, full point PPR. He's been a monster in the past. New team, new face. I'm taking Michael Pittman.
Michael Pittman is one of my favorite guys down at this part of the board. I took him last week and said the same thing. I can't even be mad.
No, you definitely can't be mad. Again, we're talking round 8 here, so there is definitely, a point where you're just taking flyers. I think Pittman is a guy that could be very safe for Aaron Rodgers.
I couldn't tell if you paused. I was staring at it. Couldn't tell if you paused for a second there because you realized George Kittle almost fell all the way back to you.
I probably would have taken him at that point.
I mean, if you wouldn't have, I would have. I debated him last pick, and I'm like, I should take the third running back. Just to catch everyone up that's listening. So after Cody took Pittman, it was Ramondre Stevenson and then Chris Godwin, 2 quarterbacks, and Dart and Lawrence. Kyle Monungai, Jacoby Myers, and Jordan Addison rounded out round 8. Round 9 started with Blake Corum, then Quentin Johnston, Kenny Gainwell, and then a little tight end run of Dalton Kincaid, Jake Ferguson, break with Wan'Dale Robinson, but then back to George Kittle and Cody.
Yeah, I mean, it's not looking great for me here. Now, I do notice that every team past me has a quarterback. So I think I'm going to take a quarterback in round 10, depending on who's available. But I think I'm going to play the game a little bit and hope that none of these teams double up so quickly.
All of them took them between round 6 and 8 also. So chances of them doubling up that quick, hard to tell.
Yeah, there's definitely some interesting names here as I scroll down. Again, have to go a little bit past, the quarterbacks and the tight ends. But since I took Michael Pittman, I'm going to take his former teammate here. You mentioned him a couple rounds ago, just to get another wide receiver pass catching option. Alex Pierce got another injection in his ankle. They're going to need somebody. I like Josh Downs as a potential flyer.
Yeah, I would have liked to have Downs here. It looks weird because it's like, oh wait, do you have two Colts receivers? But no, Pittman's on Pittsburgh now, so just the picture's not updated. I like the pick. He was in consideration for me. I don't want to say full snipe like you did, but that was a solid pick by you. Can't be mad. I'm debating taking my 4th running back here, and I would probably then just leave running back for the rest of the draft. And if I'm going to take that guy, it's probably going to be Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, taking the shot that he ends up getting the bulk of the work, or at least the goal line between the tackles, between the 20s kind of deal. I already have Christian Watson, so that takes Jaden Reed off of my look here. Or I could go tight end and either take good old Travis Kelce or Andre Gadsden. I would probably lean Kelce and see if that swan song season ends up being a big one.
Not officially his swan song season. Just
that's fair.
Throw that out there.
It's fair. I think I'm going to see what this looks like if I take Kelce.
All right. Taking Travis Kelce.
After me was Purdy and Stafford, and then Gadsden rounded out round 9. 10 went Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Jaden Reed, and Aaron Jones. So maybe I should have taken the running back, but hard to tell.
Maybe, but we also saw multiple quarterbacks go, which is why I didn't take one. So we'll see if that comes back to bite me.
I mean, there's still one sitting up there who is generally pretty good. Another one who has some upside. You're going to be fine at quarterback, I think, still.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back to looking at running backs again. And I got a bunch of backups with upside. Jordan Mason, Rachaad White, Jonathan Brooks. White's going very close to Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. White's kind of the pass catcher, I guess, if you would say, and how offense is most likely his role. Mason didn't shine too well with Aaron Jones out last year, but I think he did better than the numbers showed. So a lot of his advanced metrics were good. It just didn't turn into numbers on the field. And then Jonathan Brooks is the guy who has been rocketing up draft boards, but still being able to get him in round 10 in the 12-teamer is not too shabby, considering there's a shot he takes a starting job from Chuba. So with him being my 4th running back and only a 2 running back league, I'm going to take the shot at Jonathan Brooks and take the highest upside that's left on the board.
Yeah, I would have taken him. So well done. Because I realized I only had 2 running backs, so I wanted to take someone with a high upside. Wasn't going to, and there's just not a ton of people that excite me at the running back position that are still currently available. I need to take one. I don't know which one that will be. Uh, so with that said, before he gets sniped, I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes.
That was a smart move by you. It was him or Bo Nix in my mind. Did you agree?
No, not Bo Nix. I've taken Jared Goff over Bo Nix.
It's fair. I mean, Goff would have actually been a stack with
Amon-Ra.
Yeah, so that wouldn't have been a bad move.
But yeah, after me went Stephon Diggs, who is now with the Washington Commanders. That was a signing that happened since I think we talked last. Bo Nix went after that. Romeo Dobbs, Jordan Mason, Isaiah Likely, Hunter Henry, Jared Goff, followed by Dallas Goedert, Rashad White, Jaden Higgins, Matthew Golden, KC Concepcion, Mark Andrews, Khalil Shakur, and I am back up at 11-8. And what do we got? We got 3 picks left.
We got 3 picks left. I think both of our starting rosters are filled out at this point, so we're working on bench. And you have a shot to still stack with Mahomes here.
Still, I could if I wanted to with Xavier Worthy sitting there, but I already got 5 wide receivers. I need some running backs, and I don't love the options here. But before he's gone, I am going to take the shot on the dark that maybe Chris Rodriguez gets the starting job in Jacksonville.
That's not a bad move to try to fit out the running back room with that. Again, like some of these guys feel like they could be steady, but when it came to upside in this group, I think Brooks and Chris Rodriguez are near the top of that.
Yeah. I would have rather had Brooks, but you took him, so.
We knew picking next to each other was going to turn to some of this, but it hasn't been completely hostile here. We've been keeping it chill. I have 3 bench spots left. I already have my 4 running backs, so I'm going to stop there. I did wait a little bit on the wide receivers after CD, so I want to at least take 2 more. Might take 3 depending on how the board falls, and maybe I want to take another shot at a tight end. But I'm not going to take that tight end shot here quite yet. So I'm looking at receivers. I'm going to take Debo off my board just because I already have Mike Evans, but I don't mind him this late as a shot. Xavier Worthy, I want to believe he is good, but I have not seen that he is good. So I'm leaving him off. I'm going to go to the other speedy guy further down this list, and one of the guys I like as a late round flyer is Rashid Shaheed.
Okay. Rashid Shaheed, followed by Xavier Worthy, Kenyon Sadiq, Jonah Coleman to round out round 11, Zach Charbonnet, Debo Samuel, Jalen Coker, and George is back on the clock. Before you do that, did you know roughing the snapper was a penalty?
I did not.
Because that just happened in the Packers-Steelers preseason game.
Wow.
We had roughing the snapper. So
still a 15?
Yeah, it's still 15. They made a field goal. The offense is back out, but I won't talk too much about it because by the time this podcast is out for people that aren't listening live, this game will have already happened. So,
yes, that's very true. All right. Back to me here in round 12. If I'm looking at potential tight end stabs, we got TJ Hawkinson sitting down here, who a lot like Travis Kelce, I think, like veteran, has a shot to be good again, but we don't really know what we're going to get. Brenton Strange, I do like Brenton Strange, but I don't know that's another busy pass catching attack there in Jacksonville. There's a lot of wide receivers who we don't know who's going to get the targets. Going to wide receivers, one of those guys is Travis Hunter, who I think is going to play more defense than offense this year. Denzel Boston and Omar Cooper Jr., if I wanted to take a stab at a rookie. We also got Jacoby Lane and Deshaun Stribling down here as rookie shots as well. It's not super exciting.
No, it's not. I know what I'm doing, but I wait to see what you're going to do here. You're not going to steal my guy. There's no way.
Yeah, I doubt it.
But I mean, like, it's the late round flyer. Like, this is where I'd also say, like, throw out what the rankings say. If there's a player that you're hearing buzz about, go out and get him. If there's a guy that you really like I've been talking about Keaton Mitchell, maybe I'm not going to take him this draft because I took him in the last one. But these are the kind of rounds that I'm looking for those kind of guys at this point in the draft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'd say the same thing about Tank Dell. Like, I took Tank Dell in the last round of the last draft. I'm not going to do it here, but I like that kind of a player. Zachariah Branch is an interesting one. He's been getting a lot of hype in camp. Somewhat, they need a number 2 in Atlanta.
Yeah.
George, that's the kind of guy we're going to get
George,
here.
you are tilting so hard for round 12.
Yeah.
All right.
I went Zachariah Branch.
Because I'm light on running backs, I am going to take a handcuff that there's still a chance. And this is why we're drafting early too. So while he's out there, that he ends up being the starter, depending on some pending legal issues. I'm going to take Marshawn Lloyd, the backup for the Packers. If something, I mean, Schefter was on Pat McAfee this week talking about the NFL still reviewing the Josh Jacobs case. So we can see what happens there. But I'll take Marshawn Lloyd with my late round flyer. After that was Brian Robinson, Tyler Algier, I was going to read all the running backs. Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Woody Marks, Kyler Murray, and Alvin Kamara. So a lot of people doubling up at the quarterbacks, which I was thinking about doing around my last pick because I have Mahomes. I know he's practicing, but is there still a chance he doesn't play week 1? TBD. I mean, I expect him to at this point.
I expect him to also.
But, like, that he is the guy that, like, maybe I'm going to stream a guy first. I took him late enough that I could over him and just kind of see how he looks. But to kick off round 13 was Denzel Boston, followed by Tyron Tracy, Tyler Shuck, Travis Hunter, Jalen Lane, who's been getting some buzz, or Jacoby Lane. I don't remember which one that is.
Jacoby
from
Lane.
Baltimore. Jacoby, Omarion Cooper, and Tajay Spears. And then just so George can't, I'm taking a guy that's in the 600s.
Ooh.
But he's getting some buzz, and he already mentioned him once, and I don't want him to steal him as my last round pick. I'm taking one Mr. Dontavian Wicks.
This guy heard it. I am shocked he hasn't gotten more buzz in late round, like last round pick kind of situations so far, with how much the Eagles have been talking him up and with how many injuries they have at wide receiver around him. He's kind of just been like the number 1 guy in camp because Devontae Smith hasn't really practiced. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been looking pretty good in practice. He's been getting some buzz. I think the connection with their new offensive coordinator coming from Green Bay, having an inside track to the playbook, I think can benefit him. I think Wicks he struggled with health before, but he's always been an interesting, receiver. He's made some big plays. I mean, I'm rooting for him. His number is literally behind me on the wall as well, too. I had to double check, but I think he's a solid pick at the end of the rounds.
I'm going to throw out another late round flyer that you and I haven't talked about as much, but I know some other people have. And it's not a great offense. Good chance it's not going to work out, but Tennessee running backs aren't a lock. So I'm going to take the rookie Nick Singleton, and we're going to see if he eats into some carries to start the season.
That is an interesting one there. Maybe a little bit of homerism for your Penn State fandom, but I don't hate it there. Again, taking a flyer. I am intrigued that you I guess you're definitely more balanced than I thought. I was thinking you had less wide receivers than you did, but no, your team's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I still got 3, 4, 5, 6 in there. So 3 have to start. One other one probably starting to flex. I still have some shots on the bench that don't have to pan out. And obviously be active on the waiver wire as well.
No, for sure. But looking at our teams, to recap mine, I'm on St. Brown, Drake London, Brees Hall, Emeka Ibuka, David Montgomery, Tucker Kraft, Parker Washington, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, Patrick Mahomes, Chris Rodriguez Jr., Marshawn Lloyd, and Dontavian Wicks, while George has CeeDee Lamb, Chase Brown, Kyron Williams, Lad McConkey, Mike Evans, Christian Watson, Dak Prescott, J.K. Dobbins, Travis Kelce, Jordan Brooks, Rashid Shaheed, Zachariah Branch, and Nick Singleton. So those are our two teams. Let us know in the comments who did better.